The current president of the United States would say, "Your genome is huge!" But how big is that really? Howdy, I'm Andy Lee with Family History Fanatics, and this is a segment of DNA. Now today you're in for a treat, because as you can see here, I'm giving away my genome. That's right, I'm giving away my whole genome to you. But let's be honest, I'm really not giving away my whole genome, because you already have 99.9% of it. So what I am giving to you is I'm giving you my raw data file. Now in order to get all of that information, you're still going to have to do some work. What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to download this video. You're going to have to pause it at every single frame. There's 30 frames per second. You're going to have to take a screenshot of that, and then you're going to have to OCR all of those. That's about 10,000 images or so. And then you're going to have to put that all into your file. But once you have that, you will have my raw data file. Now the reason I'm doing this is I wanted to show you just a little bit how large your DNA is. For instance, the 23andMe raw data file that is going through the screen right now contains about 900,000 SNPs. Now, your whole genome is about 3 billion SNPs. So this is only 0.03%. Not 3%, but 0.03%. A really small amount of your total genome. So it's a good thing that you already have 99.9% of my genome. Now 3 billion is actually a really hard number to imagine. Unless you work for the government or a multinational corporation, you probably don't come across billions of most anything. To put that in perspective, instead of the 23andMe raw data file, if this was my entire genome, then this video would be 280 hours long. Can you imagine looking at this for 280 hours? Yeah, I can't imagine that either. You'd turn off the video real quick. Now my wife and I wrote a book called DNA Q&A, and this book is about 25,000 words long. Now, each word has about 6 letters, so that's about 150,000 letters in that book. In order to get to 3 billion letters, we'd need 20,000 of these books. I'm not sure that we have enough space in our house to be able to store all of those. Now, my 23andMe raw data file is about 25 megabytes in size. If it contained the entire genome, then it would be about 83 gigabytes. Most people have trouble opening files that are much more than 2 gigabytes. So if you had an 83 gigabyte file, it's probably going to cause your computer to crash. Here's another way to look at how big this genome of ours is. If you were to write down your genome one letter at a time, and each letter took you 1 second, it would take you 95 years. And that's without any sleep breaks, without any meal breaks, without any bathroom breaks. 95 straight years to write out your entire genome. Thank goodness we have computers that can do it for us. Now if you added up all the letters, not the words, but all the letters in Shakespeare's Hamlet, Othello, Macbeth, Romeo and Juliet, King Lear, you would get about to the size of this 23andMe raw data file. So even Shakespeare didn't write enough to get to 3 billion letters. He just wrote a fraction of that. And for those of you who like sports, let me give you a sports analogy. Since 1901, in Major League Baseball, there have been a total of about 300,000 home runs hit. That's all home runs that have been hit in all of Major League Baseball. At the current rate of about 6,000 home runs a year, it will take another 100 years before there have been as many home runs hit as I have SNPs in my raw data file right here. So if you've ever wondered how it could be possible that 7 billion people could all be different, and really if we're talking about tens of billions of people that have ever lived on Earth, how we could all be different, well, it's because there's a million ways any two people can be different. And you multiply that by 7 billion and it's not strange at all that every single one of us is unique when we look at our DNA. So if you've taken the time to write down all the letters in my DNA raw file so that you can create an evil clone of me to do something nefarious, I'm not too worried about that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have put all this information out there for you to see. But what I do want you to see is that the amount of information in your DNA is enormous. In this short video, I've only showed you a small segment of it. And there's a lot more where that came from. So if you have any questions about how big your DNA is, put it in the comments below and we can talk about it.
Don't forget to subscribe so that you won't miss another episode of Family History Fanatics. Be sure to check out our website, www.familyhistoryfanatics.com, so that you can find out about upcoming e-conferences that we're going to be a part of.